The very first paratroopers are now hitting Cyprus soil. Over there, Alan.
The Turks and the Greeks, they have clashed many times throughout history, but none of those conflicts were as devastating as the war between 1919 and 1922 in Anatolia. The Greek army had advanced deep into the heart of Anatolia, but in 1922, they suffered a crushing defeat. It seemed like a new era of peace might begin between the two nations. Modern Turkey's founding leader, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, sent a clear message to the world. Peace at home, peace in the world. Even Greek leader Eleftherios Venizelos believed the hostilities should be put to rest. He nominated Atatürk for the Nobel Peace Prize. But that peace would not last long. Because this time, the issue wasn't Anatolia. It was an island in the middle of the Mediterranean, Cyprus. 3 peoples on the island: Turks, Greeks, and the British. In the 1950s, radical Greek Cypriots began chanting, "We are the sole owners of this island." They formed a militant group called EOKA. Their targets weren't just the British colonial rulers, but also Turkish Cypriots. In response, Turkish Cypriots established a secret resistance group called TMT, Turkish Resistance Organization. Tensions on the island escalated rapidly. In 1960, under international pressure, the Republic of Cyprus was founded. It was meant to be a shared state between Turks and Greeks. But how long could such a fragile peace last? Once a gun is fired, everyone knows. A second shot is only a matter of time. 1963, partnership ends, bloodshed begins. President Makarios proposed 13 constitutional amendments that would strip Turkish Cypriots of their rights. On December 21st, 1963, what became known as Bloody Christmas began. Hundreds of Turks were killed. Thousands fled their homes. The partnership state collapsed in practice. Turkish Cypriots were confined to just 3% of the island. 1964, İsmet İnönü sends the jets. In Turkey, the man in charge was İsmet İnönü, Atatürk's closest friend and comrade. Despite threats from the United States, Turkish fighter jets flew over Cyprus. The Greek attacks were halted. İnönü's firm stance left a mark on a generation, and his legendary words echoed across the world. A new world may be established, and Turkey will take its place in it. Greece's goals were no longer a secret. Greek Cypriots openly declared Cyprus would be theirs, and that wasn't all. In some maps circulated at the time, even Istanbul and the entire Aegean coast were shown as Greek territory. And then came 1974, July 15th, 1974, coup and crisis. The Greek military junta staged a coup in Cyprus. President Makarios was overthrown. In his place, EOKA leader Nikos Samson was declared president. For Turkey, this was the final straw. Protests erupted across the country. And Greek radio stations mockingly played a song. I waited, but you never came. Give me a kiss, I beg you. But the Turkish people had their own reply. Don't call me so passionately. I may come one night without warning. July 20th, 1974, the peace operation begins. That night, Prime Minister Bülent Ecevit gave the historic order. And at dawn, when Greek soldiers looked up to the sky, they saw thousands of Turkish paratroopers descending upon them. Turkish forces launched a combined air and sea landing operation. Fierce battles broke out, but the Turkish army quickly secured key areas around Kyrenia and Nicosia. Phase 2, the Crescent Strategy. Despite a ceasefire, Greek attacks continued. On August 14th, Turkey launched a second phase of the operation. Turkish troops advanced from 3 directions, forming a crescent. Greek forces were encircled from the flanks, and the central Turkish forces pushed forward, chasing the fleeing Greek units. The United Nations urgently called for a ceasefire. Turkey agreed, but some Turkish commanders turned off their radios and kept moving forward. Today, if you look at the map of Cyprus, the northern bulge on the Turkish side reflects that brave initiative. And in the end, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. The island was effectively divided in two. In the north, the Turkish Cypriots established their own administration. And in 1983, they declared independence as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Although only Turkey recognizes this state, for the Turkish people, it became a symbol of survival and dignity. The Turkish Cypriots were now safe, living under their own flag. As for Turks and Greeks, this chapter of conflict is, for now, closed. But a new crisis is brewing in the Aegean Sea, where Greece claims full control and Turkey stands in opposition.